What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the spot. We kick back and react to all kind of different things. All right, so what we got going on today? We're about to check out the final track, the final To Pimp a Butterfly track. Kendrick Lamar. It has been quite the journey. This one is called Mortal Man. But I just gotta say, this entire album, every track has been great. I've loved it. This one looks like it's going to be a bit of a journey. This one shows the timestamp 12 minutes, 8 seconds. All right, so we're going to be here for a minute. All right, so be ready. Here we go. The final track to Pimp a Butterfly. Let's go.
The ghost of Mandela, hope my flow stay propelling. Let these words be your earth and moon, you consume every message. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And with that being said, my nigga, let me ask this question. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit
Okay, hold up. He was saying a lot right there in that opening. Let's bring that back a little bit.
The ghost of Mandela, hope my flow stay propelling. Let these words be your earth and moon, you consume every message. As I lead this army.
Let this be your earth and your moon consume every message. Oh yeah, he about to go deep on this one. That's what this sounds like.
Make room for mistakes and depression. And with that being said, my nigga, let me ask this question. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? The ghost of Mandela.
If shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? Oh, that's a pretty good question right there. For me, it always depends on the context. Like, when the shit hit the fan, was it something you did or something that happened to you? You know, sometimes it'd be like, you know, crazy shit happens to celebrities, and it's like, yeah, that situation, it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. Then you got other situations where it was like, bro, what are you doing? Nah, that's too much. I can't rock with you. I can't rock with you. It all depends on the situation. It all depends. Context is what's key.
Hope my flow stay propelling. Let these words be your earth and moon, you consume every message. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And with that being said, my nigga, let me ask this question. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Won't you look to your left and right, make sure you ask your friends. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Do you believe in me? Are you deceiving me? Could I let you down easily? Is your heart where it need to be? Is your smile on permanent? Is your foul on lifetime? What you know where the sermon is? If I died in this next line, if I'm tried in the court of law, if the industry cut me off, if the government want me dead, plant cocaine in my car, would you judge me a drug head or see me as K. Lamar? Or question my character and degrade me on every blog? Want you to love me like
Whoo! Oh yeah, he's talking right here. Bring that back. Bring that back. You got a lot to.
still a fan? Won't you look to your left and right? Make sure you ask your friends. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Do you
Right there, look left and right and ask your friends if the shit hits the fan. Are you still a fan? That's like saying, yo, are you gonna still be my friend if shit goes down? Because I think that's like the real test of friendship right there. When shit ain't all good, that's the real test right there. The homies that are around when things are bad, those are the real homies. The ones that only come around when everything's all good, you know what it is. You know what it is.
you believe in me? Are you deceiving me? Could I let you down easily? Is your heart where it need to be? Is your
Can I let you down easily? Is your heart where it needs to be? You know, it's like, you know, if I let you down, is it gonna hurt? Are you too focused on me? You know, there's a lot of layers to that. Is there something that you're going through that my actions just inflated? You know, there's a lot to go in.
Smile on permanent, it's your foul on line, let you down easily. It's your heart where it need to be. It's your smile on permanent, it's your foul on lifetime. What you know where the sermon is? If I died in this next line, if I'm tried in the court of law, if the industry cut me off, if the government want me dead, plant cocaine in my car, would you judge me a drug head or see me as Kendrick Lamar? Or question my character and degrade me on every block? Want you to love me like Nelson, want you to hug me like Nelson. I freed you from being a slave in your mind, you're very welcome. You tell me my song is more than a song, it's surely a blessing, but a prophet ain't a prophet till he asks you this question.
Yeah, some of those songs was definitely feeding people's minds, man. I could really appreciate a lot of them. I was like, okay, I'm feeling this. He over here spitting knowledge. He's spitting knowledge. I love music that have messages in them.
You to hug me like Nelson. I freed you from being a slave in your mind, you're very welcome. You tell me my song is more than a song, it's surely a blessing, but a prophet ain't a prophet till he asks you this question. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Won't you look to your left and right, make sure you ask your friends. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? The coast of Mandela, hope my flow stay propelling. Let my word be your earth and moon, you consume every message. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And with that, do you believe in me? How much you believe in her? You think she gon' stick around if them 25 years occur? You think he gon' hold you down when you down?
Think she's gonna stay with you 25 years occur? Oh man. That one has always been a interesting like back and forth to me, because it's like I've heard so many stories, from people that I've met in life about being in a situation or seeing a situation where somebody got caught up in something, and because they were getting locked up, their girl was just like, I'm out, I'm done. But then, I've also seen the women who stick by their man and be like, it don't matter what happens, I'm with him. This is us. And so I'm like, it's a complicated question to say the least, but I'm sorry, I'm on the side of, if you got 25 years to life, you can't be mad at your girl for moving on. You want her to sit around for a quarter century waiting on you to figure it out? It's like, at some point, personal accountability. It's like, you got to take responsibility for yourself. You can't get mad if people don't want to wait for you for that long. You really can't. But I know it hurts when you finally hear it, like, I'm moving on. It's like, for the person who's getting locked up, you're losing everything, basically. You're losing everything. But I'm like, unless you were framed, then I'm sorry, you did it to yourself. And in most cases, when it's 25 to life, most of the time, not all the time, because a lot of times it be some BS, but a lot of times it be because you did something. So, take accountability.
Beyond bars hurt. You think y'all on common ground if you promise to be the first? Can you be immortalized without your life being expired? Even though y'all share the same blood, is it worth the time? Like, who got your best interest? Like, how much are you dependent? How clutch are the people that say they love you and who pretended? How tough is your...
And that's another one. Just because y'all blood, man, I felt that one. I felt that whole breakdown. Just because y'all blood, just because y'all related, don't mean that they really have your best interest at heart. Oh man, he's talking right now. Just because y'all are related, just because y'all share blood, just because y'all grew up in the same house together, doesn't mean that they have your best interest at heart. Man, it's sometimes hard to think about, but it's the reality of it. The people who really care for you will show it. It's got nothing to do with blood. It's got nothing to do with y'all, like, the closeness is built behind how long and the time y'all spent together and everything. But at the end of the day, if that person doesn't value that time the same way you do, then at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It only matters if both of you guys value that history and look out for each other equally,
Skin when they much charge, even though y'all share the same blood, is it worth the time? Like, who got your best interest? Like, how much are you dependent? How clutch are the people that say they love you and who pretended? How tough is your skin when they turn you in? Do you show forgiveness? What brush do you bend with dust in your shoulders from being offended? What kind of den did they put you in when the lions start hissing? What kind of bridge did they burn revenge? You wanna
say what kind of den they put you in when the lions start hissing? It's like, oh man. That's a crazy one. You could take that line in a lot of directions, but that was wild. I love it though.
Show forgiveness, what brush do you bend with dust to your shoulders from being offended? What kind of den did they put you in when the lions start hissing? What kind of bridge did they burn revenge on your mind when it's mentioned? You wanna love like Nelson, you wanna be like Nelson, you wanna walk in his shoes, but your peacemaking seldom. You wanna be remembered and deliver the message that considered the blessing of everyone. This your lesson for everyone. Say when shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Won't you look to your left and right, make sure you ask your friends. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? The voice of Mandela, hope this flow stay propelling. Let my word be your earth and moon, you consume every message. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And if you riding with me, nigga, I've been wrote off before. I got abandonment issues, I hold grudges like bad judges. Don't let me resent you. That's
I hold grudges like bad judges. Don't make me resent you. Oh man. Well, we know that for sure. Oh, we know you hold grudges. Oh man, that line right there, that aged so beautifully with him. That line was like the theme of the Super Bowl. You know, I hold grudges. Oh, I love it.
propelling. Let my word be your earth and moon, you consume every message. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And if you riding with me, nigga, I've been wrote off before. I got abandonment issues, I hold grudges like bad judges. Don't let me resent you, that's not Nelson like. Want you to love me like Nelson. I went to Robbins Island analyzing, that's where his cell is, so I can find clarity, like how much you cherish me. Is this relationship a fake or real as the heavens be? See, I gotta question it all. Family, friends, fans, cats, dogs, trees, plants, grass, how the wind blow, Murphy's Law, Generation X. Will I ever be your ex? Flaws of a baby step, marred by the mouth a bit. Pause, put me under stress, crawled under rocks, ducking y'all. It's respect, but then tomorrow, put my back against the wall. How many leaders you said you needed?
He was just going on there. He was just flowing. Bring that back. Bring that back.
Not Nelson like, want you to love me like Nelson. I went to Robbins Island analyzing, that's where his cell is, so I can find clarity, like how much you cherish me. Is this relationship a fake or real as the heavens be? See, I gotta question it all. Family, friends, fans, cats, dogs, trees, plants, grass.
He said questioning it all, and you got to. It's like, you know, it's not about you wanting to. When it comes down to you questioning those who are supposed to be the ones closest to you, it's not the fact that, you know, you want to question them. It's the fact that if you're going to be realistic, you know you have to question it. You have to question everyone and everything. But with that being said, don't be overbearing about it, you know. You have to learn when to ask these questions and when not to. Don't be overbearing, because if you can't even allow trust to happen, don't trust easy. Don't just give out trust just because. But if you're so walled off that you can't allow someone to earn your trust over time, that's going to backfire on you. So always keep the doors open for people to earn that trust. But don't give it out blindly. Don't give it out blindly, and be ready and willing to question everyone and everything at any time. Always. Like, don't ever just think that everything's all good just because it's supposed to be. You know? Always make sure you got yourself taken care of. You got your ducks in a row.
As the heavens be, see, I gotta question it all. Family, friends, fans, cats, dogs, trees, plants, grass, how the wind blow, Murphy's Law, Generation.
The fact that he said he went grass, trees, Murphy's Law, the wind, is like, I'm even questioning the elements and everything. Everything is questioned. I love it.
Ex, will I ever be your ex? Flaws of a baby step, marred by the mouth a bit. Pause, put me under stress, crawled under rocks, ducking y'all. It's respect, but then tomorrow, put my back against the wall. How many leaders you said you needed, then left them for dead? Is it Moses, is it Huey Newton, or Detroit Red? Is it Martin Luther, JFK, shooter, you assassin? Is it Jackie, is it Jesse? Oh, I know it's Michael Jackson. Oh, when shit hit.
Woo! He went down a list. He went down a list right there. Oh, man. He went down a list. He's like, how many leaders? How many greats? How many do we need to lose?
More by the mouth a bit, pause, put me under stress, crawled under rocks, ducking y'all. It's respect, but then tomorrow, put my back against the wall. How many leaders you said you needed, then left them for dead? Is it Moses, is it Huey Newton, or Detroit Red? Is it Martin Luther, JFK, shooter, you assassin? Is it Jackie, is it Jesse? Oh, I know it's Michael Jackson. Oh, when shit hit the...
This man went from Moses to Mike Jack. That's a crazy list. Oh, man. That is a list for you. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? That nigga gave us Billie Jean. You say he touched those kids? When shit hit the fan.
That man made Billie Jean. Y'all said he touched those kids. When shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? That's got to be the biggest example of that. If shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? Because it's like, proven guilty until proven innocent, basically. That's the kind of situation that Mike Jack found himself in, man, because, it all came out eventually. He didn't do nothing to them. The evidence showed nothing happened. Most of those kids came out was like they was coached to lie and stuff like that. Man, but that's a complicated situation. Like me personally, if I was Mike, I would have never had kids in my house in the first place because I know people are always looking. Like Mike was too nice for his own good. But when you think about all of the charity work and all the everything that he was trying to do to help communities and stuff during his time in his prime and everything, and some of the music he put out, just trying to be a voice out there for people, you got to go deep into his catalog to know. It's like this isn't surface level stuff, but Michael Jackson was putting in a lot of work to try to help people, and this is what he got in return. When shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? It's crazy. It's crazy to think about it because it's like when it happened for people just watching, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. But when all the facts came out, it was like, okay, he didn't do it, but there's people who don't care about the facts. Once you get labeled, you get labeled, and that's the messed up thing about it. Once you get labeled, that's it. You're done. You're just labeled that. And so it's like, yeah, y'all say he touched those kids, but the truth came out that he never touched those kids. But y'all will still never let it go. It's crazy. When shit hits the fan, are you still a fan?
Oh, when shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? That nigga gave us Billie Jean. You say he touched those kids? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? The ghost of Mandela, hold my flow, stay propelling. Let my words be your earth and moon. You consume every message. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And if you ride with me, nigga, let me ask this question, nigga.
It's fading out. We're really at the halfway point. Is this going to be a beat switch?
I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same, abusing my power full of resentment that turned into a deep depression. Found myself screaming in the hotel room. I didn't want to self-destruct. The evils of Lucy was all around me. So I went running for answers until I came home. But that didn't stop survivor's guilt. Going back and forth trying to convince myself the stripes I earned. Or maybe how A1 my foundation was. But while my loved ones was fighting a continuous war back in the city, I was entering a new one. A war that was based on apartheid and discrimination. Made me want to go back to the city and tell the homies what I learned. The word was respect. Just because you wore a different gang color than mine's doesn't mean I can't respect you as a black man. Forgetting all the pain and hurt we caused each other in these streets. If I respect you, we unify and stop the enemy from killing us.
That segment right there, that little part right there, pretty much explains the Pop Out concert, because a lot of people are questioning, oh, what was he really doing? And oh, it was just up there for a moment and he didn't really change nothing. If this man has been preaching this message for however long, I'm pretty sure he was preaching this before this album, most likely, no doubt. But so to think about how many years he's been preaching that message, the pop out concert should be seen more as an achievement. You know what I'm saying? Not just, oh, he did a thing once, it doesn't really mean anything. It means that what that means is that he's been working towards making this happen, and he finally got it to happen where he can bring people together, and it's just all love. And it's crazy that people hate on that or act like this is something new. It's like some people really act like this is something brand new. Like, nah, this man's been on this for a minute. I'm going through the catalog. I'm going through the history. It's right there. This man has been on this for a minute. It's crazy.
But I don't know. I'm no mortal man. Maybe I'm just another nigga. Shit, and that's all I wrote. I was gonna call it another nigga, but it ain't really a poem. I just felt like it's something you probably could relate to. Other than that, now that I finally got a chance to holler at you, I always want to ask you about a certain situation, about a metaphor actually. You spoke on the ground. What you mean by that? What the ground represent?
The ground is going to open up and swallow the evil.
Right.
That's how I see it. My word is born. I see, and the ground is the symbol for the poor people.
Right.
The poor people is going to open up this whole world and swallow up the rich people.
Wait, is he mixing in a Tupac interview? Is that what that is? Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you're doing now.
For the poor people.
Right.
The poor people is going to open up this whole world and swallow up the rich people. Because the rich people are going to be so fat and they're going to be so appetizing. You know what I'm saying? Wealthy, appetizing. The poor going to be so poor and hungry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be, there might be some cannibalism out this month. They might eat the rich. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so let me have...
I mean, if you look at history, it has happened before. It has happened before.
You this then. Do you see yourself as somebody that's rich or somebody that made the best of their own opportunities?
I see myself as a natural born hustler, a true hustler in every sense of the word. I took nothing, I took the opportunities. I worked at the most menial and degrading job and built myself up so I can get it to where I owned it. I went from having somebody manage me to me hiring the person that...
When I think about degrading jobs, I think about the fact that I don't know every job he ever did, of course, but the one that I know that had to have been a little embarrassing was for Digital Underground with the Humpty song. Tupac was one of the backup dancers in the video that was like dancing with the sex dolls. It was like humping a doll. And so when you think about that, like, yeah, he did what he had to do. He put in his work for real, because that's a wild backstory to think about it.
Works my management company. Yeah. I changed everything. I realized.
But that also shows the man's work ethic. He was like, whatever it is I got to do, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it one way or another.
Sense of the word. I took nothing. I took the opportunities. I worked at the most menial and degrading job and built myself up so I can get it to where I owned it. I went from...
Like I said, I don't know what job he's referring to specifically. It's just that when he brought up like a degrading job, that was the first thing I thought of, him humping the doll for the Humpty video.
Having somebody manage me to me hiring the person that works my management company. Right. I changed everything. I realized my destiny in a matter of 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And made myself a millionaire. Right. I made millions for a lot of people. Now it's time to make millions for myself. You know what I'm saying? I made millions for the record companies. I made millions for these movie companies. Now I make millions for us.
And through your different avenues of success.
And I think that's how special Pac was, man. He had achieved all of that and was not even in his mid-20s yet. Man.
How would you say you managed to keep a level of sanity?
By my faith in God, by my faith in the game, and by my faith in all good things come to those that stay true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was happening to me for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I was noticing shit. I was punching the right buttons, and it was happening. So it's no problem, you know. I mean, it's a problem, but I'm not finna let them know. I'm finna go straight through.
Would you consider yourself a fighter at heart, or somebody that somebody that only reacts when they back is against the wall?
Shit, I like to think that at every opportunity I've ever been threatened with resistance, it's been met with resistance. And not only me, but it goes down my family tree. You know what I'm saying? It's in my veins to fight back.
All right, well, how long you think it take before niggas be like, we fighting a war, I'm fighting a war I can't win, and I want to lay it all down?
In this country, a black man only have like 5 years we can exhibit maximum strength. And that's right now, while you a teenager, while you still strong, while you still want to lift weights, while you still want to shoot back. Because once you turn 30, it's like they take the heart and soul out of a man, out of a black man in this country, and you don't want to fight no more. And if you don't believe me, you can look around. You don't see no loudmouth 30-year-old motherfuckers.
That's crazy, because me being one of your offsprings.
That is true. That is true. You know, I've seen a lot of people who calm down a whole lot when they're older and everything. And I would say for the most part, that's a good thing depending on the life you are living. Depending on the life you are living. Some people need to get to a point where they can calm down and chill out. But I see what he's saying. That doesn't work when you're trying to make change, when you're trying to do any level of activism, when you're trying to help or improve any sort of situation. If that's the road that you're taking, you know, you got to find a way to keep that drive. And if you can't, you know, it's like like you said, by the time you're at your 30s, it's hard to keep that drive because you done been through so much. You're tired, you're burnt out and stuff. So I get it. So yeah, when you're younger, you have that drive. You're hungry, you're ready to go. And when you're trying to do something that's positive, yeah, that's your time to do it. I think the real key is staying focused. If that's the road that you're taking, staying focused and making sure you don't lose that drive, because that's the key right there. Like I can only imagine what Tupac would have been able to accomplish, you know, if he was still around today.
Of the legacy you left behind, I can truly tell you that it's nothing but turmoil going on. So I wanted to ask you, what you think is the future for me and my generation today?
I think that niggas is tired of grabbing shit out the stores, and next time it's a riot, it's gonna be like bloodshed, for real. I don't think America know that. I think America think we was just playing. It's gonna be some more playing, but it ain't gonna be no playing. It's gonna be murder. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like Nat Turner, 1831, up in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen.
That's crazy, man. In my opinion, the only hope that we kind of have left is music and vibrations. A lot of people don't understand how important it is. You know, sometimes I can like get behind a mic and I don't know what type of energy I'm gonna push out or where it comes from. Trip me out sometimes.
Because it's spirits. We ain't even really rapping. We just letting our dead homies tell stories for us.
Yeah. I wanted to read one last thing to you. It's actually something a good friend had wrote, describing my world. It says, the caterpillar is a prisoner to the streets that conceived it. Its only job is to eat or consume everything around it in order to protect itself from this mad city. While consuming this environment, the caterpillar begins to notice ways to survive. One thing it notices is how much the world shuns him, but praises the butterfly. The butterfly represents the talent, the thoughtfulness, and the beauty within the caterpillar. But having a harsh outlook on life, the caterpillar sees the butterfly as weak and figures out a way to pimp it to his own benefits. Already surrounded by this mad city, the caterpillar goes to work on the cocoon, which institutionalizes him. He can no longer see past his own thoughts. He's trapped. While trapped inside these walls, certain ideas take root, such as going home and bringing back new concepts to this mad city. The result? Wings begin to emerge, breaking the cycle of feeling stagnant. Finally free, the butterfly sheds light on situations that the caterpillar never considered, ending the internal struggle. Although the butterfly and caterpillar are completely different, they are one and the same. What's your perspective on that?
Man, that's powerful right there. I like that. I think that's a perfect analogy because it's like, yeah, the butterfly represents maturity. You know, it's glorified because people see the talent, they see the capabilities. But what the butterfly truly is, what it really is maturity. You know, when you're in the caterpillar stage, you're in these streets trying to survive, you're trying to figure it out. You know, you don't know much, but let's be honest, there's a part of you who thinks you know it all. For a lot of people, it's a big part of them that thinks that they know it all in those situations, but you really don't know much of anything. You're just trying to figure it out and survive, you know? And yeah, you end up resenting the butterfly because of the fact that the butterfly is receiving so much praise. You know, that's the kind of thing that kind of fuels the entire crab mentality, which is a whole nother conversation. But yeah, when that caterpillar gets to the point where they can spend a little bit of time cocooned, and yeah, it's not always institutionalized, it's just any situation where you can take time to really think, to really put yourself together, to really put your thoughts together. Unfortunately, prison is one of those places where it happens, you know, and sometimes people come out trying to better themselves, but overall everyone needs to reach a point where they go on their own personal journey of thought, where they can really, like, you know, allow themselves to grow mentally, because that's the problem. A lot of times we're not allowed to grow mentally, but if you can make it all the way through, you become that butterfly, you become that person that's a little bit more enlightened, that sees things a little bit more clearly and can make better decisions. The hard part is, I feel like everyone has to go on that personal journey on their own. It's incredibly difficult for someone who's in that butterfly stage to go back to somebody who's in that caterpillar stage and, you know, try to help them out. Like, we essentially try to give people, like, you know, I've already been through this, let me help you out and everything. And then they don't want to take our advice. And then they come back later, like, you know, oh, I should have taken your advice, but I went through it on my own. And here I am on the other side, just like you did. And on one hand, it's like, yeah, they experienced the same journey, but on the other hand, it was like, man, I tried to save you from the journey. But I think in that part, you can't save everybody from these journeys. You have to let them go on their journey, and you can't interrupt it. You can't help them. You can't give them any shortcuts or any advice. Or if you do, they're going to end up ignoring it anyway. But that doesn't make it a bad thing, because you didn't have any advice when you went on your journey. You came out on the other side. You have to be able to trust that they can do it as well. And it's hard. It is very hard. But going from caterpillar to butterfly in this metaphor is something that's so necessary. And when you can achieve it, it's great. So, yeah, I love this metaphor. It's great. I love this whole analogy. It's great. This entire song was great. The most of it was him talking and, you know, giving us a little bit more knowledge and perspective, and then putting in Tupac in the interview. I think that was a nice touch, just giving us some of Pac's knowledge and stuff like that. And you know what? Before, because with it going back and forth, one thing I don't want to hear anybody try to talk about with this track is trying to compare this to what Drake did, because it's not the same thing. It is not the same thing. You know, this was truly like respectful and everything, because he's taken dialogue that Tupac actually spoke and weaving it into more of a conversational kind of thing. That is completely different from using somebody's AI voice and just having them say what you want them to say. Like, totally different, totally different. So I don't even want to hear an argument like that, just in case somebody was thinking about it. But other than that, great song, great everything else, you know, great speech, great conversation in this track, great closer to an awesome album. I love it. All right, y'all. So that's it for this one. Be sure, if you haven't already, I'm gonna let it go for a few more days. But be sure to put your vote in on which album I'm gonna do next. All right, we have 2 up. Go ahead and check them out. And so y'all already know what to do. Go down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this one. Let me know what you'd like to see me react to next. Hit that like button before you go. Share this video with everyone you know. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you really want to support this platform, consider joining the Patreon. All right? So, with that being said, you already know, as always, on to the next one.